Excellent. Yeah, I think she should skip this one. Need to go for this thing. Right. 1 hour, 2 minutes.
This is another lecture.
Please, please.
Lecture of the Scribers A to Z DSA course. And in the previous lectures, we have completed step 1.1. So we'll be starting off with step 1.2. And this is nothing but do all these patterns. So you can see that this page contains all the patterns that you have to do before starting off data structures and algorithms. Now, when I talk about patterns, why are they important in order to start off with DSA? Whenever I talk about DSA, whatever topic, be it dynamic programming, graphs, trees, arrays, binary search, one thing is common in them, that is the loops.
Loops.
If you do not understand loops in depth, if you cannot improvise with loops, then there will be a problem in order to do, like there will be a problem when you do DSA. That is why patterns are so important, because if you want to master something like loops, you want to understand how loops work, if you know how to play around it, then you can get very, very good at data structures and algorithms. And for loops, you have to do patterns. This is the reason we'll be solving a bunch of patterns. Are they asked in interviews? The answer to that is no.
Yes.
I have never seen an interviewer ask a pattern based question until unless it is a TCS interview or something like a service based company. So patterns are not asked in interviews of the top tier companies, but patterns do play a significant role when you are starting off with data structures and algorithms. So let's look at the first pattern. The first pattern is something like this. So if I draw that in our iPad, it is something like this. Now, before moving on to pattern, I'm going to teach you 4 steps. I'm going to teach you 4 steps that will help you to print any pattern in the world. Yes. And the first point is, so
We
generically,
need
all
to
the patterns
listen.
that you will be printing will have nested loops. Again, very important to remember, will have
Okay.
nested loops. And most of the pattern will have 2 loops. That is the outer loop and that is the inner loop.
Yes.
Okay. Now the outer loop is specifically for the lines. The
Outer loop is for rows and inner loops are for columns.
outer loop is specifically for the lines and the inner loop is specifically for the columns. So I can say these are the rows and these are the columns. So the 4 rules
Columns.
are based on it. So the first rule states, for the outer loop, yes, for the outer loop, count the number of lines, count the rows, count the number of lines, whatever you can write, count the number
Oh,
of lines, and this will determine what your outer loop is going to be. The point number 2, what did I say? Pattern means nested loops. Nested means outer and inner. So for the inner loop, what you have to do is you have to focus on the columns. Focus on the columns and connect them and connect them somehow to the rows. That's the rule number 2. You have to focus on the columns and connect them somehow to the rows. I'll understand this afterwards. Now, whatever you're printing, print them inside the inner loop. Whatever you're printing, print the, let's say over here it's a star. The other places can be 1, 2, can be A, B, C, D. Whatever you're printing, print them inside the inner for loop. And I'll show you an example, everything will get clarified. The fourth one is observe symmetry in case of some patterns. Observe symmetry. So this is an optional one. This step is an optional step. Why? Because this step will be only applicable to certain patterns, not to all the patterns. So this is an optional step, but the first three steps are mandatory. The fourth step is an optional one. We will solve patterns which will be requiring observing symmetry. So let's come to the first pattern. I'll be explaining this in depth, and then the next patterns we will be moving faster. So if we look at this pattern, let's have the first rule. For the outer loop, count the number of lines. So if you see, it is actually doing some task for 4 times, right? It is exactly doing the task for 4 times. So the outer loop will be running for 4 times, or you can say it will be like I equal to 0, I lesser than 4, and I plus plus. Can I say this is what the outer loop will be? So this is going to be your outer loop. Pretty simple and straightforward. This is your outer loop. So I can say I have somehow done the step 1, which is printing for the outer loop. Okay, so we are moving for the outer loops. Now the next step comes for the inner loop, focus on the columns. For the inner loop, focus on the columns and connect them somehow to the rows. Let's see. We have 4 rows. And what is happening at every line? At every line, what is happening? We are printing 4 stars. At every line, what is happening? We are printing 4 stars. At every line, what is happening? We are printing 4 stars. So can I say, if I try to write it, can I say, for the 0th row, I'm printing 4 stars. For the first row, I'm printing 4 stars. For the second row, I'm printing 4 stars. On the third row, I'm printing 4 stars. Like if I take 0 based indexing. Can I say I'm printing 4, 4, 4, 4? Can I connect it somehow to the rows? Yes. The total number of rows were 4, and at every line.
So now let us write some code. And j equals to 0, and then j is then I j plus plus out top rows. Yeah, what the fuck is the problem? What are the timeline? You want to watch something else. It's this. Zero. Yep. And then mm, mm, PowerPoint. Mm, the fuck? What the fuck is this thing is printing? First I equals to 0 is less than then then it comes to j equals to 0. J equals to 0. No, it prints. Yep. No, it prints. Okay, then 0, 0, it's just that.
We are printing those many stars. So can I say the inner loop will be very straightforward and it will be running for j. Do not take a dive, okay, because I is the outer loop. J equal to 0, j lesser than 4, j plus plus. Can I say this? This will be your inner loop. So can I say whenever I is 0, j will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Whenever I is 1, j will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Can I say whenever I is 2, j will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Whenever I is 3, j will be 0, 1, 2, 3. It will be. So step number 2 is also completed because we have connected at every line or whatever, at every column, whatever is happening to the number of rows. Somehow I've connected them. Now, since I've connected them, what's my next step? Print whatever you're printing inside the inner for loop. You have determined what has to be done. Now, what are you printing? Stars. Go ahead and just print those stars. That's it. Now, there is a certain thing that you have to keep in mind. You print them inside the inner for loop, but make sure since everyone is an individual line, at every, like, once you have done everything for the first line, you have to actually go to the new line. Once you've done everything for the next line, you have to go to the new line. So what you'll do is you'll just give away a print new line over here. If you're using Java, it will be system.out.println. If you're using C++, it will be cout. And what this will do is, now let's do a typical try run. Let's see what happens. For the first time, I is 0. Whenever I is 0, what happens? J is 0. So J is 0, goes and prints the star, right? And then comes back, J is 1, prints the star. Comes back, J is 2, prints the star. Comes back, J is 3, prints the star. Once J is 3 and it comes back, J becomes 4. And this condition is false. And this for loop is done. Now what happens? It goes to C out of endl. So that means it goes to the new line. And when it goes to the new line, I is this time 1. And whenever I is 1, it again starts J from 0 and again starts printing. J becomes 1, again starts printing. J becomes 2, again starts printing. J becomes 3, again starts printing. And then the endl happens and it goes to the next line. Then I becomes 2.
Oh, now let us try this thing. So we have done this thing. So we have done this. So what is happening now? So I equals to 0, I is greater than 5, yes. It goes there, j equals to 0. Equals to, but done this thing to, I will explain. First remember I is 0. It goes to this thing. It justifies I equals, I is less than 5, then prints one thing. Then prints 1 is control liquid feed. So it just plus. Yes, after plus it just comes to next line and this one would be but done this thing. I do. Oh shit. It's only one. Oh shit. Oh, now. Good, this thing. Uh, done, done, done. Just done, done. Got this bad. So this is this pattern is for rows, five rows. Then next for printing listing, one plus two. No, this goes here. Next line, one. It will be two. This value will be two, and this will be one. Done. Again, yes, I done because in this thing, this one won't be incremented for until the row completes. So now just replace J with I. But this is the pain in the Mhm. In this. So we need to get one, two, three, four, five, five, mm, five, four, three, one. Big J minus. Mm, mm. Oh, something. Yeah, that's right. You should not do that. Yeah. I need to get this thing. Fine. When minus 9. It's good there. Think I think. So you need to print 5 lines. So you need to print 1, 4, 5. Hmm. Right. So you need to print this thing. The first thing will be five iterations. Okay. And this correct. Print trash things because first we need to get this thing. Then we need to go reverse. For these suggestions, what what is it called? Combination. Uh, oh, okay. I don't have net pro. You can't read it. So now we need to do this thing reverse. Just print J here. J. Really simple. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 5, 4, 5, 4. But this thing should be reversed. So and just print 1. So I want to see. So can't use that. J. Mhm. Ah, my brain is getting fried. So first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zero. So first iteration would be like first iteration 0. Yep, true. J, 0. Then 0. Zero. Plus 1 by 1 when it becomes 1. 1 is less than 5. Yes. 0, 1 equals 2. Next 3. Next 4. Next 5. But we need to start with 1. Then mm, mm, how how not real distance. That hurts not be done. That's thing. So
Let's look at this. Again, pretty similar. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like printing from 1 to that row number. Instead of this, you have to print the numbers. So it's pretty easy. I'll just copy paste and it goes like pattern 6. Over here, I can do a pattern 6. And this time, you can just go ahead from here. And this is like this. And you can be like, okay, J and this should be fine. Let's quickly run this for pattern 6. Again, pretty simple. So if we do this, yeah, it does run fine, right? So if you see, by the way, let's for easy understanding, let's do one test case at release 7. Yeah, that should be that should give you an easy understanding. So if I run this, you see everything is running absolutely like this. So this is also you see
the function ahead is and 1 less than it's like equals to 5 plus plus then j equals to 1. So both are 1. Then I equals to equal. Then 5 minus 5 minus I plus 1. So to print I. Okay. How the fuck did he done it, man? Oh, first one. It okay. It satisfies this condition. Then it comes down. J equals to one. Mm, 5 minus one. Oh, 5. So it comes here. It's one. Goes here. Plus plus. And J we like two. Two. Then 5. Then it prints again two. Next 3. Next 4, 5. Until 5 it prints. You can just remember this thing to right. Whatever it is. Mhm. I'm not able to understand this problem. Runs, okay, 5 lines, okay, 1, 2, 3. First outer loop controls the number of lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines. Okay, then it's correct. And the print number starts from 1 or 2, from 1 up to 5 minus I plus 1. So it's like I equals to 1. Here is like I is. And which is that. Okay, okay, okay. Two, okay. It's done. Okay, okay, this I value is right. Done. Oh, damn. Mhm. So need to print this thing. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Oh, my brain is not braining. So let us continue tomorrow. I can't.